What's up? Mo here from TurnUpTheComfort.com. Instagram is Mo's PNH, it's MOESPANDH, and on Facebook at The Mo Hirsch, TheMoeHirsch. So what I got here for you today is we're doing a little trip on the return. Got my good old buddy over here. Say hello, girl. Her name is Summer. So anyway, what I wanted to talk to you today is about refrigerant leaks in air conditioners. This is probably undoubtedly the most common issue I hear. And I heard from a guy yesterday, told me I had a ton of refrigerant leaks in the system. And so don't mind me keeping my eyes on the road instead of the camera. So refrigerant leaks, everybody seems to be plagued with them. Kills a lot of systems. When you leak refrigerant, you take oil out of the system and nobody tends to put the oil back in. It also costs you a lot of downtime, a lot of wear and tear costs, and not having proper refrigerant in the system, also you lose capacity. So if you have a 4-ton system that's not properly filled up, or overfilled for that matter, you're going to end up with a system that has lost capacity. A 4-ton system, maybe he's only putting out a ton and a half of cooling. Kill your dehumidification, kill your cooling, and just run up electrical bills, as well as get wear and tear to your system. So what are a couple ways you can eliminate the possibilities of refrigerant leaks? So let's explore 2 ideas. Idea number 1, get rid of refrigerant. It is possible. I'll run by that in a quick brief explanation. And the other idea is to reduce them. So you can reduce them a couple ways. It's, obviously proper practices, good flares, being meticulous, pressure testing. All that lends itself to proper, reduced likelihood of a leak. So once you reduce your likelihood of a leak, your equipment will last a significant amount of time longer. So you reduce them, good flares. If you guys know, flares a mechanical connection where you connect it to a pipe to a fitting without fire, just by wedging open the end of the pipe and then clamping it down with a nut. There are a lot of tools out there to make it reliable, from good flare tools to proper torque wrenches that you don't over tighten to crack the fitting, or that you don't by mistake under tighten that. The other idea of a good lack of a leak is so you want to make sure that your brazes are good. That when you braze it, you're not overheating it and killing the copper. So that's another point. Formaldehydes and a lot of garbage in the system could cause, not in the system, but in the air, can actually make holes in the coil. I forgot the exact manufacturer, but it may be Goodman, that did a study and found a lot of microfractures in their coils coming from off-gassing of carpets, wood, paint, a lot of stuff. So obviously that if it's doing all that to the copper or aluminum coil, imagine what it's doing to your lungs. Separate side note. So you go ahead and you have a system, if you get a proper fresh air ventilation to the house, you won't be killing those coils. That's another point where you won't get a refrigerant leak. Proper practices, make sure you have knock plates over any time that the copper refrigerant lines are going through a wall stud. That'll prevent anybody from putting a nail in from the indoors or the outdoors. A lot of nails we see come from the siding, guys inadvertently, mistakenly making a hole from the outside. There are no knock plates generally from the outside. So that's some of the products that some of the problems and solutions that we see. But one of the big things and takeaways that I want to come to you today is you can eliminate all refrigerant leaks in your house and future-proof your house and build a system inside the house that'll be 50+ years of problem-free by using water or glycol. And water is a cheap, or we'd almost call it free. Everybody uses water out of the tap as if it is free. So if you go ahead and you use a water-based distribution system in your house where you're pumping chilled water in a circle, no different than any hydronic baseboard or radiant heated system, you go ahead and you can have a very reliable system that will work for many years. It can be repaired by any plumbing guy, it can be repaired by any AC guy or any heating guy. The parts are relatively inexpensive. You can replace the water at a very cheap costing compared to refrigerant, which can cost hundreds of dollars a pound, depending on the EPA's regulations. The more the EPA puts regulations like on the older refrigerants, the more expensive they get. It comes out to supply and demand. So water is practically free. Another thing that you can go with chilled water, another benefit of not having any refrigerant leaks in your house, added or compounded to not having refrigerant leaks, is using water as a distribution system. You will never freeze your coils. So say you don't change your filter on time, it gets clogged, you don't freeze your coil because the water is never getting cold enough to freeze, which means that your coil will never freeze. Another added benefit to water at a distribution system is we can pinpoint your dehumidification very well by getting a very cold coil, lowering the fan speed. Again, this is a little bit above some people's pay grade or some people's knowledge base, but we can eliminate or reduce the airflow across that coil and get great dehumidification without freezing the coil. But the main takeaway I want you guys to know today is one, reduce your reduce and eliminate your refrigerant leaks. And you can reduce them by proper practices, and two, you can eliminate them by using a chiller-based system. The cost is not much more when you have a larger home. There's a lot of other benefits, but today, 2 takeaways. Make sure you take those, and then visit turnupthecomfort.com. Visit me on Instagram at MosPNH, and also visit me on Facebook at The Mo Hirsch. I hold a lot of Instagram and Facebook lives. We do a lot of drop in knowledge, and we do, as a business, we can do a ton of consulting going forward. So in addition to mechanical work, we do the consulting version part of everything too. Anything mechanical, plumbing, heating, cooling, we can help you out near or far. Whatever you guys like, give me a call, 347-460-HEAT, 347-460-HEAT. That's the number on my office. And reach out over there. All the best. Hope you enjoy your day.